Yeah, same.
Okay, we are live on the interwebs.
Hello and happy Boxing Day to all you nerds out there who are definitely not watching this as it's streamed live.
Get
'cause you've got
alive.
lives. So last time. What did you do last time? I
Here's a
remember.
Strahd, by the way, everybody.
Yes, that's the game of the evening.
I should take more notes.
Yeah.
Swear.
I remember you
Some.
being told about the bones, but not. Oh no, I remember. Darzin had
Yeah.
sexy time.
Did.
Oh, I didn't want to remember that.
Yeah, Darzin got some action.
Darzin followed his crow to Vasily von Holtz's house, where he found what we assume is Strahd in this form of Vasily. He drank some blood, well, some of Darzin's blood, and then they went upstairs and we cut to a montage. No, we didn't. We faded to black. That would be weird. Depends how your imagination works.
Rattling montage.
Oh no, please fade to black.
What else happened? Absence. We caught up with Absence in the town of Barovia, where he was knocking on people's doors, the parents of children who were given over to the hags at the old windmill. And he took back the money that they sold their children for and scared the fuck out of them with his creepy eyes. And we left him running off into the woods.
We did.
Back in Barovia, back in Vallaki, everyone woke up. They heard from Dagmara Martikov, one of the Martikovs that saved them from the windmill, that they had followed the hags to Barovia, where they spotted Absence. And then they were joined by Father Lucian from the Church of St. Andral in Vallaki, and he said Irina is no longer safe. The bones that consecrated this ground are missing, and you managed to work out from talking to the altar boy that the only other person that knew was the gravedigger Milivoy, and Milivoy, who lives at the orphanage, told you that a man whose face you didn't see handed, they made the deal where they exchanged money for the bones at the Arasek Stockyard. I think that is a roundabout summation of last time.
It's some awful interrogations, I think.
I need to watch it back to remember, because I don't remember yesterday, let alone 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we interrogated a young boy at the orphanage. Well, he was an old boy at the orphanage.
Milivoy, yeah.
Yeah.
It didn't go that badly. We got the
Yeah.
information.
Yeah, roundabout. Not in the most efficient way, but we got it.
Take you back to the orphanage, shall I? Just in case you have anything you've remembered in that time that you want to ask him before you potter off. Oh yes, and you had a zone of truth going that I don't think worked on anyone except Mick.
Correct.
Yes.
No.
We didn't ask Mick anything.
Maybe I should ask him now.
I don't think we want to know what Mick really thinks. Because whenever he does talk, we generally want him to shut up anyway. That sounds terrible, but a little bit
Oh
too.
fuck!
Mick is very
Did I-
honest.
Did I make Graham roll?
No.
Was Graham with us at this point?
He's generally always on your shoulder unless you say otherwise. On your shoulder being
Right,
invisible.
Okay, Graham then needs to roll.
Why have I decided to do this?
The,
Graham's good.
the shittest
chill.
zone of truth I've ever rolled.
Thank you, dice gods.
Okay.
Irina is just gonna pop inside with her basket of danishes that Vasily kindly gave her that morning and drop them off the children. Just
That
do a
hopefully don't contain children.
Zone of truth
Oh.
for Irina.
You've not had a look. I mean, I can also roll
Ooh.
Irina if you have any questions. Let's see. How long does Zone of Truth last? Oh, Irina is subject to it then.
Oh, book. Zone of truth. It lasts for 10 minutes.
Yes, then you could be like doing these rolls. It's not just a minute. Yeah. So Milivoy is heading off to say sorry to Father Lucian. Irina's dropped off the pastries. The information you have is that he spoke to a hooded figure at the Arasek Stockyard about a week ago.
To the Stockyard.
To the Stockyard.
I've decided not to speak to children for very long. If I don't have to, then I won't.
You're a religious man. You can't pay too much attention to them, otherwise people will get the wrong idea.
Yeah. There's a lot of talk.
Have I got everyone? Mick says, I need a nap, and goes away.
I will send Invisible Graham with him so he can hang out at the inn.
Oh, okay, yeah.
If Graham decides to listen to you.
I'll ask politely and I'll tell Mick to buy him some pastries.
I'm sure if you asked Irina, you could have taken one of the pastries in her basket, by the way.
One of the child ones.
So you're making your way to the Arasek Stockyard. You would be directed to the Labour District, which is on the east side of town. So it's probably one of the first places you'll have seen as you walked through, as you came into Vallaki from the east side. This area of town is one of the least desirable to live in. There are places like tanneries and tallow chandlers, which give it not the nicest smell. It's densely packed with lots of ramshackle homes. And then as you come to the stockyard, you'll see from the street a tall wooden fence and padlocked gate running between two old-looking buildings. If you look through the windows, one appears to be a homestead, and the other doesn't have windows but does have a large sign with the words Arasek Stockyard along the side, and then crudely painted, sort of as an addendum underneath, and shop.
Yup. Do we see if the shop's open? Might be likely to see or to know who's passing through. Regulars.
If you think that will help us, then yes. Why are we here again?
Well, that boy that we were questioning, he was asked to get those bones by someone here, and he was paid. This is where the exchange took place.
I see.
Looking for a
Was
strange
there any
man.
kind of
Or
inn
woman.
or tavern or place where these people will rest and recuperate and have one too many and loosen their tongues?
Well, I think it's Stockyard, so I think it's more like a place of work than like a village or a town or anything, but I'm not sure. But there could be. I guess we'll have to go in and have a look around. Oh, this gate's locked.
The gate is locked. You would be able to see through the gate. Further in, you'll see this circular perimeter, the fence extending round it. On the outside, lots of sort of small wooden huts, and then on the inside, what looks like a small farm, essentially. Just an area where there are a variety of pigs and cows grazing. You can also see maybe a couple of wagons. There's a particularly colourful wagon at one end, at the far end, so as far away from you.
Is there anyone in sight?
If you look through the doors where you are, windows, you would see what looks like a homestead, so you can see inside a table and chairs, a small kitchen, but no one inside there.
Any sound of like industry or activity from inside the compound? Does it seem like a working day, or?
You don't see anybody milling about inside. You don't have to roll for that. There isn't anyone
Okay.
there. It's just the animals.
I could try and pick the lock.
I'm sure there's a more sensible way in.
Oh, maybe we should knock the door at somebody's house. What's the matter with you?
Well, there's a shop nearby as well, isn't there? Try that. Presume that's going to be...
This
Okay.
is the place of someone who would pay to desecrate the grave.
Not necessarily. It could have been a meeting point. Maybe someone lives somewhere else but just works here. You should be careful not to assume too much, Olaf.
Can we just, because I didn't want to talk over anybody, that lovely moment when you realise you play 4 games and Matt goes, "Why are we here?"
I don't often remember what I've done in my real life, let alone
I know.
Your fantasy ones.
4 games. Joys of ADHD brain.
Darzin, if you... Were those doors open? I don't
Nope,
remember.
I opened them.
Well, if you look in there, you will see what seems to be a very large open warehouse with crates and a piano in the corner, a very old-looking one. Rug on the floor, lots of bits and pieces, just no real order, just thrown in there. And a gentleman with a nice handlebar moustache who will say, "Hello, how can I help you?"
Hello, I heard there was a shop, and also I see you have a piano, so I'm kind of interested.
Do you want to play it?
Well, yeah, Dawson's just gonna go over and start, like, pressing random keys.
Hey, you break it, you buy it.
I know how to play a piano.
You can roll a performance, but the minute you touch it, before you even touch it, probably, you can tell from the state of it, it is very out of tune.
The mimic.
I'll roll a performance check anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, 16.
Jesus, +8. Ah.
He's a very good bard.
You very quickly learn which notes are out of tune and choose to avoid them and make up something around what is available.
Um,
you're very good at this. Are you interested? 50 gold.
No.
40.
No,
Okay, it is not in the best condition, but I'm sure you, a man of your talents, can do this up, learn to tune it. We're going to
don't-
be hearing concerts from you. Yes, please. This is made for you. You must buy it.
I don't even have a home to put it in.
Ah, that is a problem. Well, you could store it here if you like. We have an available a storage unit.
I'm fine for now, but I did hear that there was an actual shop nearby. That's what we largely came looking for. Along with someone whose name I don't remember. You'll have to talk to one of the others about that.
Yes, this is the shop for the Stockyard. It is mostly bits and pieces of things that people have left behind in their units when they could not pay or they died, and we inherited their things. Also, we buy from travelers. I have not seen your face before. If you have anything that we could potentially buy, we are very interested in talking to you.
Storage hunters.
I was thinking storage wars just as that was being said. Can Alexander just start kind of snooping around to see what kind of stuff they've got? Is there anything that seems useful or interesting?
Yes, absolutely. Let me look at what I have in my shop. You'll also see a very bored woman sitting on a crate in the corner, sort of inspecting a bracelet on her. Doesn't greet you or acknowledge you coming in. Pretty but tired looking. That's the one. Here we go. Right, now imagine this to the Only Fools and Horses theme tune. So you've got what have you got? A lot of things that you would find in a general store. So you've got abacus, backpack, barrel, basket, bedrolls, bells, blankets, block and tackle, bottles, buckets, candles, chains,
And so on.
and so on.
Right, it's all stored alphabetically, very organized.
It is. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
No, I'm just being nosy.
Yeah, it's all quite run-of-the-mill. None of it in the best condition. You might even spot here and there something like a vial that has a smear of blood on it.
Any weapons? Any weaponry in there?
No.
Any armor or clothing?
No. If you're just doing a cursory doing the walk and sweep, where you walk in and cast a glance over everything, no.
Okay. If they start to seem dodgy, I might steal from them, but at the moment, I'll leave it be.
Have you shut down this guy, Darzin? You're not buying this piano.
Yeah, definitely. I don't even have the money to buy it anyway. So yes,
Well, then get away from it. Don't touch it.
like a hard, and then you'll step away.
No, I thought it was more in tune before you started playing, so...
Can't knock it out of tune just by pressing a few keys.
Well, I don't know that. You could just be telling me stories. Ah, hello, you've brought friends, and Alisandir's just left, but he was going to circle around to Alisandir and ask if he needed any help.
Well, there's Milton at the door.
And there's Milton at the door.
Hello there.
Oh, are you all together? Hello.
Kind of.
Did you have something in particular you were looking for?
I really wanted to ask about the people that come by here. Are there any regulars, people that you see frequently, perhaps?
Well, yes, there's people who have this units out back, and sometimes the hunters come here. They find things out on the road, and they know that we will purchase them if they are in good working order. I must say that is a very nice chainmail. It doesn't
Oh,
look
thank you.
Valachian.
I can't remember where I got it from now.
Well, that's by the by. I mean, it's clearly better workmanship than you would get around here. So, if you are willing to part with it, it is, as I said, a fine piece.
I'm afraid these lands have proven to be a little more dangerous than I'd first anticipated, so don't think it would serve me well to part with this, I'm afraid. But thank you for the offer.
Oh, I understand. But if you are going out of town anytime, do let us know which direction you are heading in.
Oh, why's that?
Well, if you die, then I will be able to take this from you.
Oh, right, of course, yes. Oh, well, it'd be better for it to not go to waste if somebody else could use it after I've gone.
Exactly.
Yes, that makes sense.
You understand. We all have to make a living.
I have a question for you, sir, if I may.
Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, let me introduce myself. I'm Milton.
Hello, my name is Nadir Arasek.
Are you sure?
No?
Okay. How about the young boy who digs the graves? You know him?
Uh,
I figured
yes,
perhaps you might have seen him in your trade.
I do recall he's a young man, good. Looks like a hard worker.
Strong back.
Well built, yes. I don't recall the name. Why do you ask?
Well, did you remember seeing him maybe 2 weeks ago? Was it 2 weeks ago?
About a week ago?
Week ago. About a week ago, I've changed my mind.
Honestly, there's a lot of people that pass by here. You mean in the shop? I don't remember serving him.
Well, specifically, if he was with anybody else, it's the second party I'm particularly interested in.
Sorry, I thought someone else was going to speak. Cannot think that I do remember.
I know it's quite difficult. So long ago as well, a week.
Yes, people, like I said, people come by every day. I
wonder if there is anything that might jog your memory, and I just bing, flick a platinum coin up and just turn it over in my hands between my fingers.
Yelena, and he'll shout over to the woman sat with her legs crossed on a crate. Do you remember if the young gravedigger boy, have you served him this week? Without looking up, she'll just say, no. Well, I can tell you for a fact that he has not been inside the Stockyard in the past week. And he will sort of eye that coin that you're holding.
But he could have visited the storage units. Does he have one? Does he work with somebody that does?
Excuse me, hey! And he's gonna go after Dozen.
Oh,
Because I'm
sorry.
watching you. Hey, do you want to buy a storage unit?
Oh, I was just having a look at the area.
Oh. He'll stand there with his eye on you, but not question you any further. What was the question?
Olaf.
Could he have met someone else who has a unit, or does he have a unit himself?
Unfortunately, due to new regulations brought in by the Baron, I think it is called GDPR or something. I cannot divulge the names of my customers. I hope you understand. But then he will still be looking at Milton's coin.
It's kind of bad though if you were to be found with stolen goods in these storage units. I'm sure you would just as accountable as whoever stored them here. Do you think?
I'll put the platinum on top of a crate and just slide it across the top towards him and step back. Any help you can give us would be greatly appreciated, and we are most discreet.
Oh, he snatches that platinum. It's gone. He'll step away from the door where Darzan is. He can still see you. The young boy, no, he does not have a unit with us. The units mostly belong to nobles or businesses as places to store their goods. I might be persuaded to tell you who has storage units, if that was of interest to you.
That would be most helpful of you. Very cooperative. Look expectantly at him.
It has slipped my mind where I have left that information. I must have a record of it somewhere. If only I could remember. And he starts sort of flipping the coin in his hands that you gave him, well, that you left on the crate.
I'll take 3 gold out. Put it on top of the crate.
He will slap his hand down on them, as if to emphasize, I remember! Ah, how could I forget something so simple? Bear with me one moment. And he will wander over to a little desk, pull out a drawer, and come back with...
Oh. Any of those owners perhaps had a link or knew the young boy?
Well, I don't know the boy personally. But as a grave digger, he will probably be in the employ of Henrik van der Voort. He is the coffin maker.
Mhm.
He said he spends a lot of time with the temple, it would seem, as well. He might have bumped into the boy there as well.
Potentially. I mean, if you wanted to tell me a little bit more about what it is this boy has done, or what you think he has done, perhaps I could help a little more.
Well, I don't see why not. Probably be to your benefit, in fact, since if what we believe is true, then these foul deeds would have been conducted on your premises, potentially, and I know you wouldn't want that. You see, potentially something was stolen, something of religious importance, and there was changed hands here, and from the young boy to one other person as yet unidentified. Anybody you know that might be interested in such a thing?
Why on earth would anybody buy with these special bones? I mean, bones can make a good broth, but
That's a very interesting question because I didn't mention bones.
I got that wrong.
Damn it!
Oh,
That's Veronica knowing what's going on and not metagaming well. What religious artifact is
Bones.
it? Bones. I have not.
Yeah, they were the bones from the church, and they were of someone important that I can't quite remember. Damn, 2 weeks between sessions.
Hey, Andral.
Come on, Jamie, help me out.
He's right. St. Andral.
St. Andral, yeah.
The artifact is the bones of the Saint Andral.
That's correct, yes.
Ooh. I will be honest, I have not heard of this, but this to me sounds like a delightful con. You could take any bones, couldn't you? Any bones, and say they are the bones of St. Andral and sell them for goodness knows how much.
Only if you knew who to sell them to.
Well, somebody religious, I suppose. They don't have any monetary value. It is about the significance of the story behind them, isn't it?
It's almost like there's someone in the world who would benefit from a religiously significant item disappearing from people's lives.
No pennies are dropping. He's looking at you, like all of you, like you're about to hit him with some great information.
Do you have an empty storage unit?
Yes.
You know, we have accumulated some possessions in our time here, but we don't have any fixed aboard. Perhaps, you know, and I look around at the others. Perhaps a unit might be useful for us after all. Maybe we can inspect this, get an idea of how big it is, and we can discuss in private. Would you mind showing us to it, and we can take a look?
No, we do not allow people to live in the units. It cannot
No,
be used as an
of course.
abode.
Of course, no. We have lodgings arranged. That's fine. It's just to keep our our personal possessions as a group of us, and they don't quite fit so well in rooms, as you understand.
Yes,
Maybe
of course.
even my friend here can buy a piano if he had the space.
Oh, I still couldn't afford that piano.
Shush, does it?
Yeah, he will. Pardon me. Walk you outside. All the while, just sort of wittering on about how, if you're adventurers, then you're bound to find sort of things on the road. So if you do find anything, know that you can sell them to him for a good price. He'll always be very interested. Let me double check. This is the empty one. Yeah, and he will unlock a padlock on the door and say you're welcome to go inside.
Well, thank you. You mind if we have a moment to confer? We would like to check it out for watertightness and its integrity and security, if we may.
He'll look at you suspiciously. I will be with the pigs.
Of course.
We'll actually get in there. And don't leave Arena behind.
Oh, bloody NPCs. Do you need letting in, Olav?
Mm-hmm.
Go on. It's
And
about
Crowford.
Oh, goodness sake.
I can probably dump another Crowford next to us.
I got
No,
him,
I
I
can't.
got him. It's about a 15 by 10 unit.
I was hoping I had it prepared, but I don't. Like something like a detect magic or something like that. I may be trying to have a
Locate
walk around the
object.
yard, but
Do I have detect magic?
I need to be familiar with the item.
No,
If
I
it's a
just have
famous item.
I haven't got it prepared anyway. I can have it prepared, but I don't right now. I think I'm just going to check.
Can I just start physically investigating the container?
Yeah? Are you looking for anything specific?
Trapdoors, hidey holes. If we're gonna hide something in here without it being seen, so checking like floorboards and stuff.
Yeah, roll me an investigation. Matt, how would they go about that?
I would just ask them if they can actually. I mean, Olaf would just wander off to the side on his own, but he would try and communicate with the spirits that are bound to him and ask if they're able to move through the huts.
So there isn't a specific
No, it's
feature or
just-
skill.
No, just
You would feel this sort of cold breath against the back of your neck that you recognize when you've asked questions like this to be a negative. 8. it's not brilliantly made. So as you're inspecting the floorboards, maybe you even manage to pick one up because it's not properly affixed, so you can see the dirt floor underneath. It's essentially a shed, a glorified shed. The walls are well made enough. It's probably watertight. You've not had a look at the tiling on the ceilings, so you can't be 100% sure without having a ladder and a good look up there, but it seems serviceable. There don't seem to be any added bonuses.
Fair enough.
When we were coming through, would I have been able to tell if there was any kind of indication as to who owned which unit? Or are they all just kind of undecorated and bland?
Did you look at the list that was given to you?
Very briefly, and I can't find it again to look at it again.
I should put it in. I don't know if I actually
What
moved it
the-
into player
the-
notes.
There
No.
was one that said Wakta, which was not the lady that we met.
There was Wakta, there was Velakovic, which was the burgomaster, Martikov, which I think is Vasily.
I
Gresh.
think we should check the Wakta one.
I would also like to check Velakovic and Martikov's.
Well, I'd like to check them all, but I'm not sure that fellow out there is going to be happy with that.
How much
You-
attention is
you-
the guy paying to us?
I mean, the pigs aren't very interesting.
Perhaps we can
He's
get him
Or-
inside this one and distract him with some conversation while somebody else slips off and maybe tries to get through as many as they can.
I can just start going hammering on that piano again.
Or maybe we just get him in here and lock him in.
I think with
Alexander
enough gold, he
starts-
will just help you.
Alexander just starts kind of stepping backwards, trying to disappear from the group, behind one of the sheds to kind of get out of the guy's sight, but without drawing much attention to himself.
I'm going to go and play on that piano again.
I'm gonna
And-
call that a stealth from you, Alessander, and he is gonna shout after you. If you play that again, Yelena will crush your fingers.
Oh, no.
Alexander falls over as he walks backwards.
Face down in the mud.
Yep. Oh, are you okay there? He'll run
Yes,
over. Oh, that's not the right thing at all, is it?
Yes, sir, I'm just quite clumsy, it would appear. And he tries to get up before the guy can try and help him up.
So what do you think?
I don't know much about sheds.
A shed? No, this is a storage unit. This is not something you'll keep in your garden. Although if you
Well,
have a garden, I would be very impressed. Not many people in this town have gardens.
Well, I think that just shows how little I understand of these things. I would
Oh,
not
come
be
on.
the one to talk to about this.
I say, oh, well, I am very interested. It's very impressive. I do have some questions about the workmanship and the materials used. Perhaps you could show me exactly what type of wood is it, and I'll help Alessander up, cast guidance, and I'll try and lead the guy back into the shed to ask him stupid, banal questions about what type of wood it is, what nails, how many nails are used, and how
How
waterproof
often
it
does
is,
he get
etc., etc.
aerated?
Has he ever had any blowdown in strong winds? That sort of thing. Any break-ins? I'll just rattle, bombard him with questions.
I will allow that. You can. Is there any? Would you like to try again, Alison?
Yes, I'm still not doing very well, but 15. And I've got guidance, so that's a D4, isn't it?
I have an annoying backup plan if we ever need another distraction.
That's so 19 total.
He will slip. He will. You, Alessander, can slip away with him sufficiently distracted. He's got he's stood in the doorway, so he's trying to keep an eye. But you have disappeared round the corner, and he's forgotten about you. He's a bit more worried about Olav and Darzin bothering his pigs. And
Okay.
Irina's seen what Milton's doing and is sort of trying to get involved in the conversation and block his eye line.
I'm checking the
I
pig
will
pen
have-
for bones.
Perception, please.
Also, we discussed the list of names on who has storage units, but we never discussed whether it's visible who has a storage unit.
There are no names. Sorry.
Yeah.
So, if you wanted to ask him what number correlated to which unit,
I
you are
would rather
welcome
just be
to.
an arsehole.
Was the empty one number 7?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not clockwise because the empty one's number 6, unless it's including where was Rictavio's wagon in that list.
It's quite easy to see. You would see this wagon, colourfully painted along the side. It says, what does it say? Oh, I've not written it down. It says something like Rictavio's Carnival of Wonders in peeling paint along the side.
But so that
it's
leads me
clockwise
to
then.
It
believe
is
that
clockwise.
they are. Sorry, they're clockwise.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's only 10 storage units, but there's 11 things on the list.
Fair assumption.
So Rictavio's things added as an extra entry.
Bear with me, Olav. I will give you an answer. In the troughs are the food troughs anyway. All manner of substance, none of it looking particularly nice. Peelings and just this brown mass of God
What?
knows what. There's no within that. There's no obvious. Here's a bird. He's not here. Why am I saying this? Anyone got any other questions until Matt gets back?
I think Alessandro will just start kind of moving to some of the storage units that are a little bit further away, so it's harder for the guy to spot him. I think he'll probably start at 10 and work his way back round.
Yeah.
And if need be, he might actually wait until everyone leaves so that he can do a proper check of each one. Because it's going to be quite difficult to do whilst they're wandering through the yard.
You say start at 10. Do you mean what do you mean?
I'll go to the top one, like the last of them.
11?
Is that 11? Well, oh yeah, it's got the wagon, hasn't it? The 11th containment item.
Do you want to come back? We'll leave, and you want to come back when it's dark and they've all gone to bed.
Well, I think at the moment I'm kind of... Could just do a recce, couldn't I? Get a good idea of what it'll take to be able to properly check them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How easy are they to break into?
What you could tell from a cursory look around. Roll me a perception. Olav's perception. The troughs are full of what do they
Swill.
call it? Swill.
Slop.
Yeah, slop. It's sort of unrecognizable brown matter. There's no obvious like, here's a big bone sticking out, you might have to go through the slot if that's what you wanted to find out.
No, I definitely don't want to know that much.
Did you roll a persuasion, Alessander?
Sorry. Dyslexic brain can't read lists. I think it's the same for
Perception? Is
it's +4, but my persuasion roll is far worse.
yeah.
I'm out of practice. I've not really rogued much whilst we've been in
Not rogued much.
Barovia.
I've not fighted much either, so don't worry.
Can't remember the last time I clericked.
I'm imagining there's, to an extent, you sort of hands behind your back as you just wander past, trying to look inconspicuous, and you don't see any windows or doors other than, like the unit you're currently in, Milton, this front door which has a chained padlock on it for each of the units.
A chained padlock.
You would have to
And
get
what?
more up close and personal to see how familiar you are with those padlocks, whether they're easy, medium, difficult.
I will continue walking back towards the group. So I'll have kind of looped round. And yeah, if we're looking at buying a storage unit, it's perfectly acceptable for me to wonder as to the security of them. So I'm gonna waltz on up to one of them and I'm gonna have an actual look at the padlock.
Investigation? Unless you're actually trying to pick it.
We'll see how the investigation goes.
Olaf, do you think I should try and get the key off that little... Oh, nice 20. Do you think I should just try and pick the key off our little ward here?
Do you think you could do it without being caught?
No, I think there's a...
Let's be frank, we are not looking to steal anything that is stored here. We're just seeking to return something that has been taken, so... I think my conscience would be clear if you did this.
I think that's the first time you've ever approved of anything I've ever wanted to do.
Because he
First
doesn't
time
know
you've
what
asked.
you did with the count.
We don't talk about that, Steve.
Alessander, basic store-bought padlock. You know them. Easy.
Okay.
You
I
passed the
will.
plate.
It's probably fair to say the biggest security in this place is the fence. It's probably 8 feet tall.
That's climbable. Is there anything on top of it? Anything spiky or jabby?
Noisy. I'm not there.
Any kind of alarm system? Is there a little string of bells?
I need you to do a different perception check.
Hmm. $18.
Reference there.
No, it's a straightforward fence. You don't see any barbed wire or an intricate alarm system.
Okay, I'll walk back to the group, looking quite happy with myself.
I'll See Alessandro returning out the corner of my eye. So thank you very much. That's answered a lot of the questions, other than the final question, which is the price. What's the rate for this?
We do a gold a week, so most people pay 4 gold a month.
Right. Okay. Well, that's very good, and we'll be back in touch once we've made our decision. Thanks very much for your time. It's been very
Cannot
helpful.
hold this, so please get back to us soon. Someone else might want this unit. You never know.
No, all I can see, it's a fine storage unit, and I'm sure it won't be empty for long. So yeah, we will make our decision quickly.
Whilst this
Are you-
whole conversation is going on, can Darsin, whilst feigning to examine Rictavier's wagon, attempt to pick the fellow's pocket using Mage Hand to get the keys, if he can see them at a glance?
DMs, help me. How do you do a mage hand pickpocket?
Just you can do sleight of hand, or you can do dexterity arcana, or you could do your call, really.
I would normally just do sleight of hand, straight
Sleight of
extension.
hand. Yeah.
Ready 20.
So, yeah, why am I even checking his passive? He's an NPC.
He's a red shirt, Jim.
What you will manage to take out of his pocket is the platinum and 3 gold that Milton previously gave him, but there are no keys in there.
Okay.
Actually, that's a lie. No, you can have. There would be a couple of keys. Yeah, you can have a couple of keys.
Okay. I will awkwardly pass that stuff over to Alessandro because he's closer to them than Darsin is. So Alessandro will just see some money and keys float towards him on like this weird purple hand.
Am I going to be able to take those without there being too much of a scene? Or do they just deposit them in my pocket?
Just say they just like slip them into your pocket, just like the hand tip.
Yeah, you can have that. It was a good roll.
Doesn't got to be useful in a way that wasn't detecting thoughts or playing music.
As he's escorting you, I don't know if that's what you're doing, but as he starts
Yeah.
to escort you back, he'll say, if you are adventurers, as you say, then we may have some things not in display in the store that might be more useful. Maybe some weapons, armor.
Well, that does sound interesting.
Come back inside. I can show you what we have. Poor gormless fool. God, there's so many fucking NPCs. Irina, Crowford.
Don't
Well,
Do you
hook me,
want
Bert.
to
these
do Out of the
things he's
Abyss
gonna
for a
show us.
week?
Hope these things he's going to show us aren't behind lock and key that we've now got the key for.
Just gave Alessandro all those keys and he just went back inside and was like, wait, no.
So when you go back inside, he will walk over to some crates in the corner, move some crates aside, and then open up a couple of other boxes underneath near the bottom, and they will contain. Oh, where have I put the contents page? vial of acid, some caltrops, a crowbar, some oil, some iron spikes, thieves' tools, some studded leather armor, a breastplate, a rapier, a long sword, a warhammer, some a spell scroll, a sort of strange-looking horn, some brass knuckles, and Yelena will come over and produce a box from within her cloak that has some jewelry in it that you can peruse if you would like.
I would like to peruse the jewellery.
So would Darzik.
We're the fancy boys.
There will be a diamond ring, some pearl earrings, and just a ruby, not set in anything.
A ruby of... And would
Diamonds and
Alexander have any
pearls.
idea of how much worth?
Considering your background, I'll say yes. So your diamond that you can see, about 100 gold. Your ruby, about... How much is a ruby in D&D?
It's however much you want it to be. Depends how big it is.
It's small.
Mm.
It's probably another 100 gold's worth. And your pearl... call them all 100, a fair 100.
How much would each of these cost?
What would you be willing to pay?
I don't have much money, unfortunately. We weren't able to bring much with us when we came here, and I'm not really aware of how much they might be worth, so I would not want to guess at it. How much would you be willing to accept?
If you cannot afford the piano, you cannot afford these. Then she will snap the box shut.
Okay. And then what does she do with the box?
She will place it inside her blouse.
If you knew we couldn't afford the piano, why did you bother showing us the jewelry in the first place?
Also, it was just my friend here that couldn't afford the piano.
I can afford the piano, but the piano is shit.
Yes, it is. See, even Olaf knows, and he doesn't know music, I presume.
No, I can't play it. I can't play rock, but I know that it's a shit piano. Because Dazin is pretty good, and he played it sound pretty bad. No offense, it was no fault of yours, clearly out of tune.
My husband said to show you some of our finer goods, so I showed you.
I'm just rather taken aback by the fact that I've had Olaf's approval twice in one day. It's just a bit unusual.
Maybe he's turning over a new leaf.
Is this what you have craved ever since we have met? You just seek approval?
Well, it's a pleasant change.
Look, I wanted to kill an imp one time, and you think I'm some kind of ass.
No, I
Multiple
mean,
times.
usually people are an ass to me, so it's a pleasant change to have someone be nice.
Ah, I see. No, I need to kill it once. Only once is enough. I mean, imps, the nature of them, yes, someone could summon it back, but I agreed I would not. Tell me, why do you have armor and the weapons, how did you come by this? It's clearly not new.
Oh yeah, you could tell by looking at it like this. Smudges on them, the silver's tarnished, it's second hand. Well, it is what we find.
Wonder if any of it is Cedric's.
Maybe.
Inside check.
Where did you
Go
find
for it. All over the place. As your friend said, it is dangerous outside these walls.
Oh, fuck.
He seems so honest.
Yeah,
So
because
honest.
No, why we were so suspicious, Olaf. Everyone's having a
So
go now.
honest! Get the
He's-
message!
he's very genuine.
It's just the fact that you were like the way you were saying so honest. I was like, this is sketchy. This just doesn't sound right.
You must understand, it is not a pretty business coming across a corpse on a road, but it happens much more frequently than you would expect in
What do you do with the
this
corpse?
lands. Well, we leave them.
You just leave them, you just steal all their things. You don't bury them or pay any respects to the dead. You just take their things and leave them to rot where they fell.
Oh, I mean, I can say a little prayer. If that is what you would like to hear. But what if their loved ones come back to bury them and they cannot find them? Then we have interfered.
You've interfered by robbing things that might be sentimental.
He'll just shrug. That is the way of things.
If I weren't so dainty, I might smack you.
No, Darzin, this is affairs that don't involve us. We kindly invited in and were allowed to peruse their wares and conduct business as is allowed by the local town, I suppose.
I might take it you are not interested in any of this.
I think it seems moods are souring a little and we'd probably best be on our way before things escalate.
Very well, and he will basically slam shut the crates. You can tell he's a bit pissed off.
Well, thank you once again for your time, and if we have any business in the future that may interest you, then I'm sure we'll return. Until then, good day.
He'll give you a nod. He won't walk you out or anything, he'll just stand there by his crates.
But he watches us all leave. Right, we
past
go
the
out.
shadow. Dun dun.
Are there any windows in this building? So if we go out, if I can get Alexander out of the, there we go.
Come on, Irina.
round. That's Irina.
He's here.
And then could someone give me a boost over the fence?
Of course, Dawson will do it.
Right now, don't you want to
Get
wait?
handsy.
Don't you want to wait some time first? They're very suspicious
just-
right now. They might be looking for us to leave. Now probably isn't the best time straight away.
Well, I've
But if
taken.
they're going to do anything, they're going to do it now, so at least we can be witness to it. Or they're going to be so rolled up from our company that they're not going to think to check whether anything's happening out here.
I also stole some of their keys that Alessandra's now holding. So the longer we dawdle, the more time they have to realise and replace the locks.
Well, I suggest you use those keys and then relock and drop them on the ground, so he thinks he just dropped them.
That's what I was thinking. It would bring the least suspicion, and we wouldn't be seen hanging around at another point in time.
Well, this is your area of expertise.
They might actually
As
be
you
something.
wish.
Sorry, carry on.
Not finished, please.
I was going to say, I think there might actually be something from the shop I might have an interest in getting, so I can probably go in and distract them some while you're scouting around at the different storage units.
I fear we may have annoyed them enough for now, but I will be careful, and if they leave the shop, then maybe I could enter the shop. And what is it that you were after?
Oh, I was just thinking I might go and see about buying some of those thieves' tools, or asking if they had any instruments other than the fucking piano.
Well, shall we see how my attempt goes? If you start to believe that there might need to be a distraction, then
If we boost you over, I can fetch you back. I can have my companions lift you over.
I'm quite good at climbing.
You won't need to. It'll be quicker.
I'm not so sure I like the sound of that. And you just see Alexander pales a little bit.
They won't hurt you.
Milton doesn't look very comfortable at all at this nefarious activity. But we'll cast guidance on you, Alessander, and he's like that, looking over his shoulder. If anyone's watching, put his hands out for a leg up, cast guidance, and as he touches your ankle, and whoop.
Do I need to roll anything for the up and over? I've got climb as one of my roguey things, so I
Okay.
Can I boost him with
pretty good at
athletics?
No, if he's got climb, I'm happy that he can, with a boost, he could climb that.
Mm-hmm.
It's more the being quiet about it. Stealth with advantage, because you are a naturally good climber.
I tell you what, Alessander, I can get you over there silently,
just let
which
me
is more
be
important
roguey.
than leaving silently. You're going to need to leave under your own steam. It's not
25.
so important. Well, yeah, as I'm talking to you, you basically just go for it.
Yeah.
Sander's gone. You don't hear his
Like-
feet touch the floor.
You're talking, you look away for a second, you look back, and now you can just see a little bit of like white blonde hair through the fence.
Where's Alessander? There he is. Boop. Wait, where's Crowford? I'm gonna bring him in with you.
Above Irina.
What next?
Okay,
some
so
rogue
I'm
shit.
going to, hoping that the others step away from the fence, so to not draw attention, I'm going to methodically go from storage container to storage container. Get in, check, get out, next one, so on and so forth.
Thing at one?
Yep.
Sure.
So yeah, so can we all retreat, or at least Milton will try to retreat to some kind of cover a little bit further away from the fence, bush or something.
Are you trying
A
to?
tree or...
Oh, so you are trying to hide. Mhm. Stealth. If you're trying to hide. Trying to secrete yourself in a bush.
Well, I mean, the map doesn't show, but if there's something much further away, I don't know, 100 feet or something, then I'd do that just so I can maintain sight of the fence, but just distance himself from the situation altogether.
I'll give you 30 feet away. A similar landscape, yeah.
Still for the stealth, or?
Yeah, because there is
Yep.
the middle of the day and there
Ooh.
is a walkway to the north of you, so you are random people hiding in bushes. You think you are well concealed, and then whilst you're stood there in a bush, Irina says, "Milton, what are you doing?"
A maiden, isn't it? Here I am, gone. And as she looks down, Milton's just putting a bit of pig shit across his cheeks like that.
Wolverines.
Milton, I can see you quite clearly.
You're making too much noise. And as he turns around to speak to Irene, and his chain mail's clanking and
I will stand here. And she will sort of stand in front of the bush that you're hiding in front of. Olaf, are you doing something?
I'm just going to go and stand by the road.
Tarzan, you just stood with your ear at the door.
Well, I mean, he can have an intent listen out, but he's in fact he's not going to put his ear to the door, but he is going to listen out for if it sounds like someone might be going towards the other door. But for the time being, he is just kind of like stood around waiting for a few minutes.
Then, Alessander, if you go to door 1, I assume you're going to try the keys?
Yeah. I'll try keys, and then if not, I will pick the locks that I've already investigated and know shouldn't be too much of a problem.
Yeah. The minute you look at the keys, you would know these are door keys. These are not padlock keys. They're the wrong size. So, thieves' tools, which is Dex plus proficiency.
I nicked his fucking house keys by accident.
You've nicked his house keys.
So Dex plus proficiency.
Is that right?
I've had it done differently in different campaigns. So either Dex plus proficiency or sleight of hand, because for some reason it doesn't let me actually roll thieves' tools.
Would end up the same for sleight of hand, wouldn't it? Because that you have proficiency in sleight of hand.
Yes, I believe so.
So you can roll that.
24.
Oh yeah, easy peasy. It's a lock you know well. 1, 2, 3, click, done. And that is the wrong document. In this room, you find... Oh, I should unlock it for you, shouldn't I? That would also be good. It's half full of some crates. I keep opening the wrong document.
Alexander will start prying into the crates, having a quick look.
They're not fixed down, so what you'd find is some crates have a lot of copies of the same book. Some crates have old posters, and from what you assume are old festivals, they're all designed in the same sort of print, and it's like the Wolf's Head Jamboree that's just gone, the Hallows Eve festival, lots of print material.
What's the book that there's lots of copies of?
You would find.
I like books.
Hold on. You would find the adventures of Ivanov Salov by Alberto Yonovich.
How big is the book?
It's chunky. It's like a goblet of fire.
Oh, I was
Yeah.
gonna say I'd pocket it, but now that'll ruin my outfit.
But yeah, there's loads of copies of this one book.
And that's it. It's all print materials.
In all the
Okay,
crates,
next
yeah.
place.
Next, please.
Never would have thought Barovia would be the place that would have a printing company.
Someone has to make the posters.
It's a booming business. It's the only one that is.
I'm just going to ask you to do a sleight of hand for everyone. So, number 2, please. And behind door, number 2.
This is Mr. Martikov's, I believe.
23.
Yep, easy. You can... Do you lock them behind you?
Yeah.
I'm going to
Oh,
allow
that's
that
cool.
with those over 20 scores. That's fine.
Yeah, I don't want to be found out, and I don't want anyone to steal their stuff.
Inside you will find a wagon, empty, some barrels that you see the label Red Dragon Crush, and I don't remember the other name of the other wine. Red Dragon Crush and... Nope, I've forgotten, so it can be Red Dragon Crush times 3, and then some like grains and root vegetables.
And that was the people who own the inn.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm not going to fuck around with their stuff. Lock it behind me. Off I go to the next one.
Welcome to Alexander Hour. Roll for us.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone.
You do it.
The only time I've ever had the chance to be roguey, though, so I'm taking it.
You go for it.
18.
You rogue. Rogue your little heart out.
Easy. You get in. What's in this one? What's
What
behind
does the
door number
Burgomaster keep in his
3?
closet?
Maybe the Burgomaster is in the closet.
Oh, it's Red Dragon Crush and Purple Grape Mash number 3. That's the names of the wines on the barrels. And that's not what I was looking for, but I came across it in my scrolling. There we go. So in the Burgomaster's place, you find a couple of pieces of furniture, another upright piano, some rugs, maybe a couple of threadbare chairs, but what's mostly encompassing the room is decorations and games from so you will remember, yeah, you would remember, like there was when you turned up in Vallaki at the entrance, there were these wolf heads on pikes. They're in there. A wooden pole adorned with ribbons, some archery targets, some scarecrows, some some bunting, some papier-mâché balls, some painted eggs, some humanoid clay figurines. That's your cursory, what you've walked into.
I would like to investigate further, and I would like to reposition the clay figurines into dirty positions.
Investigate further if you would like. What are you looking for? Are you more actively opening?
I don't find anything. I bump into piano, it makes a loud noise, I get scared. I don't know, whatever can go wrong does. Shit.
Yeah, I guess you bump into the piano and you freeze and listen.
Would Darlison have heard the piano?
From that far away, no. There's a wall, another set of walls, the fence, no. Do you want to... Go on.
Would it have been like open, and would I have hit keys, or would I have just bumped into a big wooden block?
No, they do. It's in storage, so it's a wooden block, but I don't know if you know, it makes that hollow sound of the things moving, the keys moving inside. It's not like a big smash your hand down on the keys.
Okay. Is there anything in there that just generally like, of the furniture, is the furniture good quality?
Yeah, it's relatively good quality. You assume the reason it's in here is because it needs reupholstering. There are threads that have come loose.
It's not going to do me any good to piss on it, is it?
What would you can have? There's a rug on the floor, there's the piano, and there's a couple of dining chairs. Is there a specific item you'd like to piss on?
I'm trying to. What would he have in his house that after a while is really gonna start reeking? Like what's gonna? It's this kind of smell that will haunt him in his dreams. That stale piss smell.
Probably that it's one of those animal pelt rugs.
Yeah.
You'd never know if that was the piss or it was just the musky smell of it getting old.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether it's worth it. Alexander wants to, but I think it's also a little bit below him.
I think the fact that you were on the same page as Darlison, if he'd have been in that room, is kind of an awkward sign for Alexander.
Yeah, yeah.
Probably best not.
Yeah, he's gonna leave. Close the door behind him. And on to the next one.
Sleight of hand.
$17.
Inside. Again, I mean, I say similar to the Vlakovic one. It's in that it's got furniture. It doesn't have weird decorations. There'll be some old dusty books, a chest of drawers. If you look through a couple of chests, there's some trinkets like cufflinks or silver statue, worth a bit of money.
So who did this belong to?
Lady Vocta.
Can I check the books? Is there anything that stands out? Are there any books that are particularly well read or?
Investigation?
You know I'm not a smart boy. Oh, yes I am. Natural
yes,
20.
you are. What you would be able to tell from this is there's a large number of if there's a reference to the Morning Lord, which is the primary deity in Barovia, it seems to be in these books, or historical texts, which are quite dusty, and everything in here does have a layer of dust on it, like it's been in here for a while.
What a waste of a natural 20. Anything else in there? Or is it just books and knickknacks?
With a 23, I will give you. Like I said, there's a layer of dust on everything, but there's this sense that someone's gone in recently and moved things, like a patch on the floor where there's no dust, but that's just because it's moved a couple of centimeters to the right, one of the chests. Same with one of the books, it's got actual fingerprints where someone has taken it out of the shelf and just placed it on top of a bookshelf. Things have just been moved, so there are little patches that are clear that someone has been here recently, but you can't necessarily tell
Okay.
what
I
they
will.
did.
The chest that has been moved, I will move it back. The book that has been moved, I'll put it back in its place. And just see if there's any. Are there any clicks? Anything else happening from doing that? And
Door
then I
opens.
will-
No, nothing
No.
happens.
It's a shed. Okay. Yeah, I think we've 20 for anything that would have shown up will have. So next one.
Next one is.
You've just shut Crowford in there.
Oh, Crowford, I'm sorry, mate.
Sleight of hand, please.
18.
That does it. So this is Van der Voort's Coffin Makers. Even more so than the previous room, there's the boxes and sort of half-made pieces of furniture. Like a bed, the beginnings of a bed, headboard, a chair that hasn't been upholstered, it's just its frame. Lots of just, like, you can see this broken cart outside, just scrap wood. But then 4 long boxes that stretch, that are laid upwards against the walls, which aren't covered in cobwebs and dust, right by the front door.
How long are they?
They go as tall as the units, 6 or 7 feet.
How wide are they?
About 5 feet.
Can I see into them, or do I need to open it?
You'd need to open it.
Is it locked, or is it just got a door lid kind of thing on it?
It's just a lid. It's not got a lock on it.
Alessandra's going to regret this, but I'm going to open it.
Cool. Let's roll for initiative.
Fuck off.
Fucking knew it!
Wait, hold on. What the fuck happened? I conked out. I conked out for like 2 seconds, and all I heard was roll for initiative.
I'm gonna say, let me measure the distance. Well, actually, no. This depends on whether you decide to make any noise, Alessander. Whether I involve the others.
Okay. Oh god.
What the fuck are they?
Oh god.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
How quietly can you die, Alessander?
What's Alessander doing on his own? And
You know this boy's gonna scream. You know it. What does he see in front of him?
oh yeah, sorry. So you open the lid and stood there. Sorry. Deathly pale. Hands like this, eyes closed, but as you open the box, they flicker open, and these. What colour? I don't know, let's say red eyes stare back at you, and you feel this pit in your stomach as they smile at you with their fanged teeth.
Oh, I am very sorry. I am in the wrong unit. I will I will leave you in peace, and I'm going to try and close the coffin and get out of there.
Well, it's their turn first, so.
Well, surely Alisander's got a higher dexterity than 16.
Not what he rolled.
No. It is going to attempt to grapple you, so please roll a strength.
Oh, I'm a weak boy. God, where
Oh,
just straight strength?
strength check, yeah. Strength v strength. It didn't roll very well, so.
Yeah, well, I've got feckle, so. Okay. Okay.
Oh.
You're okay. But it has a multi-attack, so it's still going to do something else. Oh, I assume it misses.
I believe so.
So,
Yes.
because I love this image, you open it and it smiles at you. And it lunges for you, but you close the door on it, so its hand, as it goes to claw you with its long fingernails, get stuck in the door frame, and you can see it quivering.
I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry. And I just continue to close it.
Housekeeping.
Oh wait, it can move as well, can't it? Well, I guess it just opens its.
Can I not hold it shut?
We can.
Maybe,
Would
but
that
it looks
be?
like there's another 3, so.
Yeah. I'd say another. I know it's movement, but let's do another strength v strength. You're trying to hold its door closed.
How long does guidance last?
Minute, it ran out ages ago, probably.
Damn it. 17.
No. It's stuck in its little box. What would you like to do, Alessandra?
I'm really sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm so sorry. And then I'm just going to reach for the door, run out the back, close the door, and then lock it, and kind of try and jam the lock.
Sleight of hand? Because it would be thieves' tools, I suppose. Oh no, because you just... yeah, if you're trying to make it so it won't open through the usual putting the key.
I'm in a rush, so it's not great, but it's still a 15.
It's a basic lock, I'll let you You can jam the lock with that, so it's a little up the AC of the door for that. Anything else?
So 5 and 15, 20, 24. So if closing the thing, would that have been more of like a reaction because it was kind of on their turn?
Closing the lid on them? Or
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, so I will bonus action hide behind the broken cart for a little bit and just wait to see whether they are coming out or not.
Cool. I have to ask, at any point in that, did you let out any sort of scream or loud noise?
I think I was just too shocked and was just going, sorry.
Yeah,
sorry,
that's what you did. So that's fine.
Okay.
Right. This one is gonna try the door.
It's not the turn I was expecting this to take.
Nope. No. Unfortunately, there are more of them, so try
Did the
again.
others wake up? That's unfair. Oh shit.
That one will work. No. You did a good job on the door. Yeah, the door bursts open. From behind the cart, you can hear just thwack against the door as this, it's like I said, it's like a shed. The shed practically shudders every time with each thwack. What would it do now it's out? Then it used both its attacks. It knows it's gonna run.
Whose shed was that?
That was Devort's, the grave maker, the coffin maker.
Right.
Is that right?
Yep.
And Devort.
And Devort.
Gonna roll a d4 for the direction it decides to run in. And it's not running in your direction, Alessander.
Is it running into sight of the others, though?
It's currently still within the fence perimeter. And there's one more to go before you, and it will follow. But it won't. Oh no, it could dash, so it could get across the fence. That's 5, 10. 30, and then... Yeah, it could get across the fence in that time. So... Are they stealthy? They're not trying to be stealthy, they're just trying to get away, so... What's your passive perception, Milton, in the bushes?
Have a calculate that.
I never remember.
I have a +6 to perception.
Well, just 10 plus your perception, isn't it?
Oh, so your passive 16. Okay, okay. Yeah, you wouldn't hear it. Even with disadvantage. We're back to your turn, Alessander.
So two. I've heard two leave the container. What about the other two? Are they still in there?
They're still in there.
Let me do some math. Oh, very much no. So, fuck it. Yeah, I can action dash, so I will. So I'm going to make a run for the fence, and because of second story work, if climbing no longer costs you extra movement, and when you make a running jump, the distance you cover increases by +4 feet. So, considering I'm 6 foot and I'm climbing an 8-foot fence,
You are an incredible vertical jumper.
I'm just hoiking. I'm hoiking.
Parkour!
Parkour.
Mhm.
I land. I also say parkour, but I do it very quietly.
It would be so proud.
Can't get over it because it's classed as a wall. Can you move me to the other side of the fence,
Oh,
please?
sorry. Yeah. Oh, why aren't you moving? There you go.
So that was... Oh, there's like a shadow version of me.
Sorry, Crowford. Oh, okay. There you go.
I was
Okay.
just going to leave him there.
And then is this a tree or a bush?
Sure, whatever you want. It's a
It's a tree, and I'm going to climb up it. So I'm going to use my action dash to get up there.
It's a lot
And
of
then-
movement. What's your speed?
So 30 is my walking, so that's why I was like, if I...
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And climbing doesn't cost me, like, extra. So if I... From hiding under the wagon, straight to the fence, straight over, straight up the tree. Bonus action hide.
It's like in a Scooby-Doo cartoon where you're hid behind a thing and then you become essentially a shadow on the floor that goes and you hide behind another thing.
Yeah, I am Shaggy. I'm just completely Shaggy and Scooby right now.
Is that everything?
Yeah.
Cool. Cool. Then this guy will move. And this guy will move. And they can all get to here. Why are there still summoned? That's weird. Okay. Essentially. Oh wait, I should roll for whether Milton can spot would hear them behind him. Yes. Milton, you will hear a noise behind you.
Oh shit. Irina, what's that? I can't see past these bloody leaves.
What can she see? Let's find out. This map's too big. I don't know. Is it Alessand? There's a few people. Oh, Milton, I don't know what.
I'm going to stand up out the bush and go, and hand up, try and get Olaf's attention and just point. at the movement. I'm not quite sure what they are myself, probably, but I'll just point. Draw everyone's attention.
Yeah, from here you see some humanoid figures come from the other side of the fence. My question here is, everyone's outside the fence now. Would you like to go into initiative order and run over there? I don't know that it's worth it because they would keep running. So I guess the question is it worth putting you in initiative order? Are you going to pursue them?
If they're going to keep running, I don't think so. I'd be interested to see. I'd head down there, but I'd only be looking for Alessander. Once I saw Alessander was there and safe, I wouldn't pursue. That's Milton's take, at least.
We don't know that they're not just people, do we?
No.
As far as we're aware,
Not at
they're
this
just
point.
people.
Yeah. Would Alessander signal anything otherwise, or is he just quivering in a tree?
I don't know how he could signal to others without letting the vampires know what's happening. Does Alessander know like how common vampires are? I think so far the only one he's ever been aware of. Strahd. Does he even think Strahd's a vampire, or does he just think he's a dodgy man?
You've heard that's one of the rumors. You know him, I guess, primarily as Irina's stalker. You know, he's very powerful.
And he's been alive a long time.
Yes, so
Donovich's
you know.
Son. Donovich's son
yeah.
was a vampire in the basement of the church in Barovia.
Yes, so for reference, you could see fangs, vampire.
Okay.
But you wouldn't. To be fair with Strahd, as you have never seen him, you've just heard rumors. You can't say 100% that he's a vampire.
But so Alessander kind of knows that vampires are a thing.
Yeah.
And would know what these were. And would think they would probably kick our asses. Little bit feeling bad that he's just somehow managed to release 4 vamps into the world. He's going to hide. He's just going to stay hidden for a little bit. And watch to make sure that the vamps don't attack his friends.
Then what the others will see is the vampires, although very quickly, also very quietly, run off, find alleyways, and essentially disappear.
Oh shit. Can I climb back over the fence, please?
I assume by this point, at least Milton is there going, Alessander?
Oh, if Milton runs up, Alessander's going to jump out of the tree and hug Milton, just sobbing, I'm sorry.
Just on the basis you said you'd go see that Alessander was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. He begins to draw the mace, recognises Alessander, and oh, bloody hell! What's going on? Who are those guys?
In Vandervoort's storage container, they were. I think they're vampires. I'm not really sure.
Well, that's worrying.
Yeah.
Why are they running away? Why aren't you dead?
Well, I ran away. And then
That's
they
sensible.
ran away. But I do think it's one of my smarter decisions. I feel bad that I think I've just managed to release 4 vampires into the community, but I'm also wondering why there were 4 vampires here in the first place? Actually, that's... Why would a coffin maker be storing vampires?
I think it's even more important we get to the bottom of this then. Unless they weren't vampires when he put them in.
But why would you store remains or anything else in such a place?
I don't know what's normal. Would he normally store a body here before going to the church, or is that normal? I don't know. I don't understand these
Cleric.
things.
Not from where you're from.
I'm sure they have a place for that, don't they?
Yes. Chapel of Rest or something.
I think if we go back in to continue the search, it's probably best if I'm not by myself.
Well, I can come with you, but I'm not very quiet, Alexander.
Is there anyone else who might be better? How stealthy is Olav?
I'm not there, so that.
Allison's decently stealthy.
I've got +1 to my stealth, and I'm wearing chainmail, so.
Yeah, and Dawson's in bright fucking purple. I'm not taking Irina in.
Only the shirt, and
I
it's
could come. Okay.
only the shirt, and it's under a coat.
Can you be quiet?
I can be pretty quiet, yeah.
Okay, so if Dawson's kind of wandered over at this point, I'll explain very quickly that holy shit vampires, holy shit ran, holy shit hid, holy shit we need to go back in there. And I'm not going by myself.
I think that's a very, very wise idea. Vampires in a storage shed is a bit unusual, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Good job hiding, though. Well done.
Thank you. I think more people should appreciate Alessandra's ability to be a coward. Okay, there's these back gates. Are they locked?
Yes.
Oh, now.
Have they got good locks on them?
No.
Okay. Let's do a handy dandy little...
Partial dandy lockpick.
Oh, yeah.
Guidance on myself and Sandia.
Oh, well, I'm glad I've got guidance. I'm going to need it, because that was a natural 1, which takes me to a 7.
I mean, with a natural 1, I'm going to say you break the lock, but there's luckily 2 locks.
Yeah. I'm having a good day today with the rolls. Is Darzin doing the other one, or am I trying the other one?
I don't have thieves' tools. That's why I was interested in buying the ones from the shop.
Okay.
You have proficiency in thieves' tools, Darzin?
Nope.
Okay, then never mind.
I will do slightly better that time.
My God.
That's
And
enough.
I will use the guide. Oh, that's enough. And
Yeah.
I won't use the
They're
guidance.
basic locks.
And as I'm doing that, I'll explain to Darzin what I'm doing. So I'm like, you listen for this, and you feel for that, and then you...
And that's how not to do it. So now this one.
Well,
It was just a bad lock. It broke, that's all.
If the gate's open, I'll come with you, but I'll hang back because, like I say, I'm a bit clunky.
Thank you, Milton.
What's Olaf doing?
Nothing. Just standing there waiting.
Oh,
No one shouted. No one's done anything.
I
He
did.
wouldn't
I
know anything.
drew your attention to the vampires running down the
yeah,
bottom.
Milton did.
Oh, okay. I will wander down then to Milton, wherever he is.
Right round, and I've gone into the compound with them.
Yeah, you want to
So
go
you would have
all
had
the way
that. You
around.
would have heard all that conversation with us then.
Okay.
Darzen, should we continue checking Vandervort's container?
If you think it's a wise decision, yes. I'm quite happy
Well,
to
I
move on
didn't-
otherwise.
I'm just going to try
Well,
and
I didn't
stay out
get
of the sight
to-
behind this wagon.
To
Do another
a
stealth check
idea.
for me.
Can Alexander
Why?
kind of point to him? There's
'Cause
like a
it's
spot
funny.
behind the wheel.
Okay, yeah, you can help him.
A natural 20 there.
Oh,
Okay, so it would balance out to. Ooh, what do you do when?
do a group stealth, like usually, and average
Yeah.
it. And you let the higher ones help out the lower ones.
Where's stealth? Irina. Oh,
Ooh.
Irina.
Clutch.
very close.
She probably
Alexander, I
stopped
need
him
you as a
leaning on
decider.
something that was going to break or whatever.
So am I stealthing?
Just to let's say this is you entering the compound to balance it out. There's 5 of you. There needs to be someone to.
Guidance.
I still have guidance from before, so I'm using that.
I'm just going to keep throwing guidance at everybody.
That gives me 12.
That's 3 over 10. You can have that.
Oh, shit.
Is that where you're
Okay.
hiding, Olaf? Behind the
No.
wagon.
Yeah.
Cool. Come back to you.
Oh, shit.
I'll let Darzin enter first.
Oh, are they over that side? I'll go.
If you're all hiding behind that wagon, that's why you get the two 4s. There's no space for 3 people behind that wagon.
Yeah, and then
Irina
I'll
is small
realise-
enough.
I'll realise that and go behind the barn instead. Eventually.
And I can Dawson have a little poke around while he's in there now.
Yeah. Investigate.
Hopefully there's no more vampires. Got a 16.
Yeah, there's the 4 open. They weren't coffins. They were just boxes. But humanoid-sized boxes. Behind those, you can tell it's similar to what Alessander would probably be telling you as you moved around. Those seem to have been newly placed in the room. They don't have a layer of dust on them like the other things, which look like sort of old, half-finished projects and lots of scrap wood. If you root around, move things around, you won't find anything much more. Maybe some dead rats sucked clean of any blood.
Delightful. Well, it doesn't really seem like there's much else in here now, Alessandro.
Were there like scratches or anything on the back of did it look like they've tried to escape before or anything like that?
It doesn't
There'd
look
be
like. Well, yeah, with that investigation roll, we don't need. You both rolled good investigation the first time round. Like the doors, you could just open them, so they didn't seem trapped in their boxes, and the front door itself didn't have any damage to it from the inside.
So it was easy enough for them to escape if they wanted to. Now they have, but why didn't they before?
Well, was the door locked still when you came to this one? Presumably it was
Yes,
still
but I
padlocked.
locked it behind me, so they, as you can see, and he'll point to the ruined door.
Well, if they were padlocked in, perhaps they weren't able to leave the shed as a whole, but they could still walk around the interior.
I just feel that if they fled so quickly, it doesn't quite make sense.
No, it doesn't really, does it?
Anyway, let's get out of here.
Are we checking any of the others?
It's probably safest. We should finish what we originally planned to do.
So I'm quite interested to poke my nose into someone's shed in particular.
You check Wactors?
Yeah, was Factors the third one?
Yeah, it had some more
Fourth.
furniture, some old books.
Hmm.
Is that the one with the dust moved?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Rictavio's wagon would be next. Is that locked
You
at
check-
all?
You did check for like hatches and things where things had been moved, I assume.
Well,
You
I had
rolled-
a quick. Yeah, I think for that one I did quite a good roll and looked at where the dust had been moved. I didn't say let's check for hatches, but we're looking at sheds. Yeah, I don't imagine. If we find a secret staircase, I'm going to be well impressed with how they managed to construct that. Okay, so Rictavio's wagon, do we need to do anything fancy to get into it?
Yeah, that has a padlock on its door as well.
I will again talk Darzin through the process.
I quite liked Octavio. I feel a bit bad breaking into his wagon, but I suppose that's what we're here for.
We don't have to mess with anything. That's a 16.
Go with.
Are you even trying the keys beforehand? Or are you just going straight for the lockpick?
They were door keys.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Way too big for a lock. Okay, yeah. So, you open the door to the side of this wagon. Or actually, where you're situated is probably more likely. You enter through the back of the wagon. And you'll get this waft of, like, when you enter a stables. Like this hay, shit. And there in front of you is a sleeping creature.
Is it Rictavio?
It's not a dark-skinned elf. It's furry, and I mean you're at the butt end, so there's a tail,
Is it a long tail, a short tail, a fluffy tail?
a fluffy
Is it
long
Finlow?
tail. Do you want to roll a nature to recognise what it is?
Is it a doge?
Perhaps we should just close this and carry on.
I'm going to roll nature, but I am also just going to back up. It's a 5. It's furry and it's an animal. And
Be guarding something.
yeah. So we'll leave that be.
Guarding
We'll
like
let
stolen
sleeping dogs
bones
on.
or
That is
No.
one big dog, cat. Do you just close it or do you lock it again?
We're going to lock it.
do me another sleight of hand because I'm going on its passive perception and how well you roll for whether it would wake up.
Guidance. Assume guidance on everything until we leave the
Okay.
stockyard.
Darzin walks around with his hand on your shoulder everywhere.
Good,
I
because I
think-
need it.
I think I read somewhere that there's actually nothing that states you. Oh no, it does say you touch one creature. I saw something
Oh no.
somewhere.
A 10?
You would lock it, but as you lock it, you will hear it get up and move around inside.
And then, like, pantomime tiptoe to the next. So the next one's the empty one, isn't it? So we can
Empty
go
one,
straight
yep.
for... This time, can I try and talk Darzin through using the lockpick?
Gonna have to give myself fucking guidance then.
Sleight of hand. Not with your proficiency, because you're not yet proficient in thieves' tools, but
So just a dexterity check.
yeah. I just saw some vampires, but yeah, let's train you how to pick locks.
He's looking for an excuse to distract himself.
It's a 10 in total, but from a natural
It's
one.
still a natural one. So you
Also, why did I get dexterity +5 when I've only got a +4? So really, it's a 9.
would open the lock, but break the lockpick in the process.
Alexander will look very grumpy and take it back from you. And then try and figure out if he can put the bit that's broken off back on the thing. Like he's dug it out of the lock.
Well, they had another set of thieves' tools in the shop. I can just go and replace those for you in a moment.
I'll say you have more than one lockpick.
Oh yeah,
In your
it's
case,
heaps
yeah.
of tools, isn't it? So
Yeah.
there's multiple. I've just been using the most basic of them for this.
And to be fair, you have just opened, 6, 7 doors, so
Yeah, something had to break at some point.
wear and tear.
I want to say, did you say he managed to open it?
Yeah, he got a 10, he managed.
Okay, yeah, ignore my roll then.
Inside, you get an immediate waft of leather, and if you open up one of the boxes, some of them are nailed down, some of them aren't, but the first cursory ones that you look at, it's lots of pelts and hides.
Whose storage container was this?
I believe it's some fellows called Lucresh.
That's
No,
not
Sin?
someone we've...
No, it's not someone you've met yet, but Darzin's been in town longer, so you can roll a history to see if someone's mentioned who this person is.
Nope, got
So
a natural 1.
you have no interest in... No.
Again?
That's good thing I'm not rolling death saves.
Get them out the way before you're in combat, Darzin. That's the way.
Yep. Waste them on the useless
that-
shit.
Is there anything in here of interest?
Unless you do a more in-depth opening of fixed crates or under floorboards or whatever, i.e. an investigation, then
I will investigate for a 17.
a lot of hides. It looks a straightforward storage for a tanner's or something.
Okay. We're just using a lot of time to search where there's not going to be anything, can't we?
You never know.
I mean, you found 4 vampires in one of them.
Yeah, and I kind of wish I hadn't.
The ones we have left are 2 fellows called Rizkovich and Novik, and then I believe it's Mr. Vasily on the end.
Okay, and we want to be quite careful because we're getting closer to the house again, aren't we? Or the shop. Has there been any sign of movement from the house or the shop?
No, the door's not opened.
Okay. We are... Is it 3 left or 2 left?
3 left.
Okay.
You're trying all 3, or are you skipping any? You're trying all 3. Yeah,
don't know
that
what
does
we
it.
might miss.
Find door number 9. This equally seems quite like straightforward storage for a shop. You find boxes of soap, boxes of blankets, boxes of grain, water skins, candles, a lot of things bought in bulk where it looks like things are maybe there are varying levels of stock, so maybe they come here, replenish.
Alexander's going to pocket some soap.
Sure.
Any thieves' tools?
If you took some time, no.
Fair enough.
They're very, again, like the first time you walked into Nadir's shop, warehouse, very basic general store.
It's a shop.
Yeah.
Right, next shed then, Alessandro.
Pardon?
Next shed.
Yeah. $15.
Yep. That opens. Kind of similar to Lady Voctor's, so you've got a chest of drawers, some old furniture, a couple of boxes of like little trinkets like statuettes and portraits of a quite beautiful woman. Yeah, that's just surface level.
We will attempt an investigation. And it will not go well.
Guidance, remember.
Yeah. Does not go well.
Yeah,
So
you
it's
can't
an
see any
8.
hidden nooks or crannies. Nothing is locked down. The trinkets that are in here seem low values, so like pewter, not proper silver or anything like that.
Okay. Again, closing the place up behind us, we'll head off to the last one. I'll say with the soap, Olive picked up at least 2 blocks of it.
I don't know if soap is an item you can add to your inventory, but
Yeah, but I might have plans for it.
It should be.
who are you washing?
It's
Alexander.
It's if he ever gets caught and goes to prison.
With your guidance.
Yeah, don't worry.
Darzen
And
always
that-
wanted to do this one.
That does it.
Alexander is not letting you use his thief tools again.
Oh.
You have messed up.
It comes preloaded with these things in the sheds, and so so a lot of statues, some art, everything quite dusty, quite similar to the previous hut, shed, whatever. like home furnishings of a very fine and elegant quality.
Anything in particular look familiar in any fashion?
The statues bear a resemblance to Vasily.
How old do the statues look?
Old, but they don't. To be fair, they don't look. They bear a resemblance to Vasily. They're not, unless they're a bad sculptor. They don't seem to be Vasily's. So maybe relatives. You can't be quite sure. You've met him a couple of times.
Is there anything else in here that might be smaller and more easily stealable?
Good job, Olaf's not behind you.
Let's say... Yeah, let's say some sort of gaudy goblet or set of goblets.
Yes, we deserve some goblets.
Yeah.
I would also like to break a thumb or a pinky finger off one of the statues.
Roll me a strength, because a statue can be...
Can I, like, that's one, like, it's a thumb or a pinky finger, so if there's one that's, like, separated from the hand somewhat, and can I use, like, the pummel of a dagger to, like, whack it?
With advantage.
Thank you.
You find one statue where he's just drinking tea and his pinky is out.
Exactly. Okay, 11. With guidance.
You still get guidance, yeah.
12.
Dawson knows the truth here, and he's petty enough to give you guidance.
Not so much breaking a finger off as... It's just the tip of a finger, like the nail. So there's... It's clearly... It's broken, but it's not, unless you were up close, it's not that obvious. Let's say your goblets are encrusted with some gems that are worth 50 gold.
Okay. We'll pocket those. I will put the pinky in my, like the pocket of my shirt. I'll drop it in there and it'll just look like I've got one very engorged nipple. Don't like this man.
It's a very interesting look you're going there for there, Alessandro.
And I'll just rearrange my jacket over it so it covers my my stone pinky nipple.
Old.
But yes, I'm not sure how I feel about the man either, to be fair.
I just don't trust him as far as I could throw him.
I think that's a wise decision.
Interesting response. Well, you've been around here longer than the rest of us. Have you had much to do with the man?
I think Dawson's going to have that moment of like, no, not really. I've met him once or twice.
Oh, would Alessandra insight check him at this point? I'm going to, just because I'm bad at it, so...
Perception, please.
Perception or insight?
Insight, sorry, deception for Dawson.
Deception, sorry, I was like... But also, do I still have guidance? Because I might add guidance to that.
No, I have to touch you to give you guidance. So you might notice that Dawson doesn't be like, I'll let you have guidance on this.
Darn it.
Yeah, he wasn't.
That's suspicious in itself.
To be fair, Darzin had been there much longer than you, from what you said before. So
Well, technically, I think the fact that I've met him once or twice would be true. It's just that I haven't had much to do with him. Would be the
that was
would
yeah.
be the lie.
Yes, no, I worry about him being around Irina. She's got a history of problematic men. And I worry for her safety, and a man of his standing, I know what they're like. I wouldn't trust them around her.
Oh, I've heard he's had the occasional dalliance since I've been here.
Well, you've not been here that long, so how many dalliances has he had?
Well, I know of at least one.
And you are not talking about Irina?
No, I hadn't met her before the other day. And I think she came into town with the rest of you, didn't she?
Yes. So who was this other person?
I think Dawson's going to stand there silently and just be like, the name escapes me, I think.
Did they bear much resemblance to Irina?
No,
Was he
they
ever
were quite... I don't know. But no, he didn't. They didn't bear a resemblance in the slightest to Irina.
Don't know whether that's reassuring or not. I mean, obviously I wanted to be happy, but well, this isn't really the place to be talking about this, is it? And the others are waiting.
Actually, didn't inside check that, but off we go.
I was about to say, he'll leave it. I was about to say, he'll leave it, but he'll be thinking about it. So could I do like an insight check on kind of the whole conversation?
Yeah, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
that was awful.
I think Darzin is not admitting that he's done it, but he's kind of not really trying to hide it either.
I heard he had a dalliance, but I don't think who was. Huh?
I heard he had a dalliance,
Yeah.
but I don't know who. But I know they didn't look anything like Irina.
That's true. Yeah, it is still a deception to an extent.
Oh,
You're not telling the whole truth.
His deception is so good it'll easily beat my 12.
And that's why he's the character for this. Yeah, he seems flustered, but...
Oh, I don't think he's flustered. I think he's just like, well, no, flustered's probably inaccurate.
It's enough for Alexander to pick up on, but not be sure why.
Yeah.
Okay. And then can we please return to the safety of Milton?
And Olaf and Irina.
No. So I think Alexander's crush on Cedric, who's now changing to daddy issues with Milton.
Have you found anything interesting?
Not really. There's a lot of statues that look somewhat like silly. It's quite creepy, I must say. Seems to be quite full of himself, and I will say this knowing full well that Irina is next to us.
So nothing that's going to lead us to any lost bones.
Only the vampires.
What was in the
what?
wagon?
Oh, something furry and large and alive.
So
Is
we
he
didn't get a
guarding
chance
something?
to see anything in there then.
Rictavio is a performer. It's probably just like an animal to entertain people.
It's I think Olaf's probably right. It is probably guarding something. But considering what happened the last time I found something moving in one of these, I thought it best to step out rather than get us all killed.
Look, I'm not comfortable with all this sneaking about and breaking into places. I'd like to get out of here if we can.
Yes, please.
We're just going to leave. Getting the bones, we're not going to investigate what this creature is guarding. We've let 4 vampires just escape into the night. We're just going to do nothing.
If you would like to investigate the creature in the wagon, please do. I'll wait here.
What was it? Was it the dog or?
I have no idea. It was big. It had fur.
Okay.
It was bigger than a cat.
I'll give you, like, it's probably half the size of the wagon in length, so maybe 5 feet.
It's about 5 feet long.
Like a wolf.
Like a wolf. Like a very large dog. Like a very small
that
cow.
we've seen everywhere, following us and killing people.
It was lying in a bed.
Kind of linked to Strahd.
Yeah, lying in a bed in a wagon in a storage facility.
Why would you store a dog?
To guard something. But that means that they must come and feed the dog quite
Olaf,
regularly.
you're assuming that it's a dog and not something dangerous that shouldn't be kept in the public.
I'm guessing you've locked it again.
Yes. And also, I would say dogs could be quite dangerous if they are trained correctly.
Oh, definitely. It's kind of one of the few leads we have.
Well, you want to go back and check?
I think we should check. We are here now. Do you not?
I think we should, yes.
I can unlock it for you, but I would prefer to not go in.
That's fine. What about Wactus?
Vapsa's just had... There were books. There were a few crates. There didn't seem to be much of any interest. It did just generally seem to be general storage, though a few things were moved around in there quite recently.
Okay, that could mean something.
It could mean that someone is storing something in their storage container.
Yeah, they've moved things to hide something.
Well, I looked at what it was that they moved, and there didn't seem to be much, but we can definitely go look again.
Did you look at what was underneath the things that moved?
Well, I didn't want to make too much noise now, did I?
It's up to you all. If you think there's nothing to investigate, then fine, we can leave, but my instincts tell me we should not walk away.
Okay.
Should
Now
we
it's time to
decide
walk.
next time?
Yeah. I'm sorry that the whole of this session has been me running from storage container to storage container, doing sleight of hand checks.
That's
I
cool.
enjoyed it.
That's what rogues are for. That's why we've got a rogue.
I'd really been like going back and thinking, why did I create a rogue for this?
This is why.
There we go.
And he chose to send Alessander over on his own.
He wasn't expecting there to be fucking vampires in a storage container.
in a game of Curse of Strahd. Come
Where do you
on.
keep your vampires?
I thought like
Where else do you
maybe
keep
one.
them?
I thought maybe one zombie kind of creation, or you know, I'd
Yeah,
end
yeah.
up in a
Zombies are more of a storage container kind of monster.
Yeah.
They are.
No problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who keeps a vampire in a storage container? Come on.
That's some fucked up shit.
I say, goddamn.
I like to imagine just as everyone's like gearing up to go, Dawson's there, stood next to Irina, and he'll just turn to her and be like, "Vasily has a lot of statues of himself in his storage unit, and I thought I was vain." And like maybe just that one moment where Alessandria gets to turn around and see Dawson stood next to Irina and just go, "Huh? Oh." Gross. Like
Sounds is just what he does not understand social interactions very well. He's so used to that very kind of highbrow falsity. Like he doesn't understand a normal person's life or what it is, so he's very confused by what the fuck is going on. He knows something is up.
Gonna click at the worst possible time for him.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We'll all be sat down in Vasily's house having dinner, and Irina and Vasily will be talking constantly, and Darzan will be staring at Vasily, and that'll be when it like clicks in the head.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not inviting you to dinner.
Oh, of course he wouldn't.
Not with
You
the
sure
freckles,
Olav
anyway.
isn't gonna charm him into a dinner request?
Would he do that?
Invitation?
Well, if there's anyone who can strong arm him.
I'm
Good luck
missing
with
arm.
that.
I'm sorry.
I
Yeah,
think-
that was the joke was that he's only got the one arm.
I think
that's terrible.
Irina might want Vasily, if she becomes serious about him, to meet her friends.
Yeah? Well, she's already introduced you. And
Yeah, it's not the same. There's got to be that awkward.
proper sit down, do my
Yeah.
friends approve? Yeah.
The awkward 101 questions, and then when the person who's invited them has popped to the toilet, they drunkenly tell the guy how much they love them and how if they hurt them, they'll kill them, kind of thing. That kind of, yeah, got to be done.
Good luck.
Darzan would have
We
too
still gonna
much
die.
power to be reasonable at that point, I think. It'd just be
I
that
would just-
moment of, if I tell everyone he's Strahd right now, what can he do? Other than a lot.
Other than get killed. Yeah, no, we are never going to be able to take this man. But I love the idea that our actual fight with the big bad of the campaign would be because Alexander is kind of a little bit jealous of the fact that Irina has a new friend.
Jealousy.
Alessandria jealous that Irina has a new friend, and Darzan jealous that someone else is getting the attention.
Crime of passion.
Yeah.
Bigger things happening in the world, people.
Not in their worlds.
I guess that's. Are we still streaming?
Yeah, do you want me to stop it?
Yeah, I guess.
Any last words? Probably the wrong thing
Bye-bye.
to say for a Curse of
Don't
Strahd
break
game, but
into a warehouse
Christmas.
on your own.
Yeah.
There be vampires.
There'd be vampires, yeah.
That's a lesson for the real world and all walks of life.
Don't fuck with vampires. And don't fuck vampires.
yes, not recommended. Not recommended. And there's no game tomorrow, is there? Well, rather, it's Theros tomorrow, which we don't stream. So there is no stream tomorrow. Okay.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry
Mazel tov.
Christmas.
And Mazel Tov as well, and all the other.
What do you
I
say
don't know
for
what they say for.
Hanukkah?
What do they say for Kwanzaa?
Kwanzaa.
I don't know.
Don't know.
Yeah.
We'll
Happy
we'll do
holidays.
some research. We'll find out.
Happy
Yes,
Festak.
whatever you're celebrating, I hope you enjoy celebrating it. And Happy New Year. I think we can all agree on that one. Although the Chinese New Year is different, isn't it? So
God.
Everybody's just thinking, why am I
happy
friends
not
with these
working.
people?
No, loads of people are going to be working as well.